Hello and welcome to session one of your citizenship class over the 2008 civics test. I am so excited to help you along in your journey of becoming an American citizen. So let's get started. So, as a whole, let's go over the class overview. And so there are three class goals. The first goal is that I want you guys to be able to practice your English skills so that you are able to be able to complete the test because you are required to complete the test in English. Second, I want to help you guys understand and answer all of the 100 questions included in that civics test because, like I said in that introduction video, you will not be asked all 100, but we do not know which 10 questions you will be asked, so you need to know all of them. And then finally, I want to prepare you to complete and submit the citizenship application. And so, this class, how it goes and what it consists of, it is made up of worksheets that go along with each video. So for this video, you should have the worksheet that says, let's see, worksheet for session 1, 2008 civics test. I say, this is what it looks like. I'll hold that up to the camera if you can see that up there in that corner. That's the worksheet you should have in front of you. We also have presentations like this presentation. And then after each session ends, there will be some homework that I've assigned to help you guys get better at your reading and your writing practice as well. And so, like I said, you should have that worksheet in front of you that says session 1. And so, with that overview out of the way, we're going to dive right in. So, this first session covers introductions, maps, symbols, and holidays. So, we're going to start with an introduction. And so, a very simple introduction consists of three things: your name, the country you are from, and where you live. So, with this first sentence, my name is first name, last name, you would say, my name is, and then put your first name and last name. So, I want you guys to try that now. Read the sentence out loud, but fill in the blank with your first name and last name. Okay, so the next sentence is I am from country. So, when you would say, I am from, and then the country you're from. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to do that now. All right, and then the last sentence is I live in, and then the city you live in. And so you would say, I live in, and then you'll say where you live. So go ahead and do that now. All right, so I did the introduction as well. So here are my answers to the introduction questions. So my name is Maggie Peterson. And that's me up here in the corner. Hey, everyone. Uh, I am from the United States. I live in Wapello. So, after the video, take some time and practice introducing yourself to someone around you: a family member, a friend, a neighbor, maybe even someone you don't know. Practice with anyone who will let you practice, because the more practice you get, the easier it becomes. And so, now that we're getting into the content of the video, I'm going to turn my camera off so that you don't get distracted by me and you can pay attention to the info that's on the screen here. But I am still here. You can see where I am with this little red laser. So I'll still be here the whole time. All right, so now we're going to move on to maps and a little bit of geography. So right here, this is a map of the United States. See if you can find Iowa on this map. All right, so this is Iowa right here circled in red. Were you correct? If so, yay. If not, that's okay. That's what these classes are for, to help you get better and practice learning where everything is. So, first up on our tour of the United States is rivers. Two of the longest rivers in the United States are the Missouri River and the Mississippi River. And so, the red line in this picture right over here, this line that I'm tracing, this is the Missouri River. And you can see it goes all the way down here. And then on this picture, this blue line, the one that I'm tracing now, this is the Mississippi River. And you can also see it goes all the way down and exits in the same place as the Missouri River. All right, so for question 1 on your worksheet, it asks, name one of the 2 longest rivers in the United States. Either of these 2 answers are correct, the Missouri River or the Mississippi River. Go ahead and write in whichever one is the easiest for you to remember. All right, so next up we have more water. So the United States, in addition to having rivers, is surrounded by oceans on all sides. The Pacific Ocean is on the west coast of the United States, and the Atlantic Ocean is on the east coast over here. And so we can know directions by using this little thing up here, which is called a compass. So we have N for north, S for south, E for east, and W for west. And so north is up, south is down, east is right, and west is left. So using the compass, which ocean is the arrow on the left pointing to? That's right, it's pointing to the Pacific Ocean because the Pacific Ocean is on the west coast of the United States, and west means left. And so using the compass again, which ocean is this arrow pointing to on the east coast of the United States? That's right, it's the Atlantic Ocean because Atlantic is on the right and east go along with each other. So that answers questions 2 and 3. Question 2 asks what ocean is on the west coast of the United States, and question 3 asks what ocean is on the east coast of the United States. So go ahead and write in those answers now. All right, so now that we're done with all the water, we're now moving on to land. So the United States has states and territories. The states you can see are these right here. You may recognize like this is Iowa, this is Texas, California. These are all United States states. There are also territories, and territories are lands that are in control by the United States. We have control of them, but they are not actual states. And so there are 5 territories that the United States have, and they're shown on this map. You have Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, then over here you got American Samoa, the Northern Mariana Islands, and then Guam is all the way over here. You only need to know the name of one of these territories. The easiest territory to remember and spell is Guam, which is this one over here, but all of these 5 are correct answers. So for question 4, it asks you to name one United States territory. You need to write in the name of the territory that is the easiest for you to remember. And I circled it right over here in black. Guam is probably the easiest to remember. It is the easiest to spell. All right. Yep. So, excuse me. The United States has a country to the north and to the south of it. We are bordered by countries on either side. Canada up here is to the north of the United States. So if you look at our handy dandy compass again, right over here, we see that north points to up. So if you look up above the United States, you find Canada. And Washington is one state that borders Canada. Washington is up here in the top left corner. So question 5 asks for one state that borders Canada. You can go ahead and write in Washington now. All right, so Mexico is to the south of the United States. And so you see south points down, you look down, and here's Mexico. And Texas is a state that borders Mexico, and that's circled here in this big old circle because Texas is a big state. So, question 6 asks you to name one state that borders Mexico. So, you can go ahead and write in Texas now. All right, moving on. We're back into the United States again. And so, the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C. The White House is located there. And the White House is where the president lives. And so the Washington D.C. is located at this red dot right here, and I also have this arrow pointing to it. This here is Washington D.C. So question 7 asks for you to name the capital of the United States. So go ahead and write in Washington D.C. for that answer now. All right, so that's enough about geography, and we now move on to symbols and different things that when you see them, you automatically think of the United States. And so the first symbol we have is the Statue of Liberty, which is this lady right here. So the Statue of Liberty was a gift of friendship from the people of France to the United States and is recognized as a universal symbol of freedom and democracy. It is located on Liberty Island, New York. And so you can see this is the Statue of Liberty right here. She's standing on Liberty Island, which you can see the base of the tree lines right here. And this is the skyline of New York City behind her. So she's located in New York. And so question 8 asks for you to write where the Statue of Liberty is located. So go ahead and answer that question now. All right, the second symbol to talk about is the American flag, which is this right over here. So the United States flag consists of 13 red and white horizontal stripes and a blue rectangle in the top left corner with 50 white stars. So you see the stripes and you see the stars. The 13 stripes represent the 13 original colonies that declared independence from Great Britain and later became the first states. The 50 stars on the flag represent the 50 states that we currently have. So, question 9 asks, why do we have 13 stripes? And question 10 asks why the flag has 50 stars. So you can go ahead and write in those answers now. All right, so the last symbol is the Star-Spangled Banner. So Francis Scott Key, who's this guy right over here, this is good old Francis. He wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner after a battle in the War of 1812. As the British attacked, Francis Scott Key saw that the American flag was still flying over the fort, which showed that the Americans were not defeated. And you can see here I'm circling the flag. This is what Francis Scott Key saw. The song became the United States national anthem in 1931. And the flag that Key saw is now at a museum in Washington, D.C. So question 11 asks, what is the name of the national anthem? You can go ahead and write that answer in now. All right, lastly, we're going to talk about a little bit of holidays. So, the first important holiday that we need to talk about is Independence Day. So, the Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th, 1776. The anniversary of that date is celebrated as Independence Day. You may know it also as the 4th of July, but the official name is Independence Day. So, question 12 asks for the date that we celebrate Independence Day. And like I said, that date is July 4th. So, you can go ahead and answer that question now. But Independence Day is not the only holiday that we celebrate here in the United States. We also have a bunch of other national holidays, and they're all listed in this table to the right. And so when these days happen, all these holidays, government offices are closed. So that's what makes a holiday a federal holiday. So question 13 asks for two of these holidays, and any of the holidays listed here are correct. The most familiar holidays, however, that a lot of people remember are Thanksgiving and Christmas, as most people have those times off and do not have to work and they can go home to their families. So go ahead for question 13 and write in the names of the two holidays that are the easiest for you to remember. All right, so now let's finish up with some quick worksheet review to make sure that your answers match what I have as well. So, question one asked for the name of one of the two longest rivers in the United States. Either the Missouri River or the Mississippi River is correct. You only need one of them. Question two asks what ocean is on the west coast of the United States, and that is the Pacific Ocean. Question three asks what ocean is on the east coast of the United States, and that is the Atlantic Ocean. Question four asks for the name of one of the United States territories. We talked about any five of them are correct, but the easiest one to remember is Guam, so that is what I have here. Question five asked for one state that borders Canada. We talked about Washington. Question six asks for one state that borders Mexico. We talked about Texas. Question seven asks what is the capital of the United States, and that is Washington, D.C. Question 8 asks, where is the Statue of Liberty? And very simply, all you have to say for that answer is New York. Uh, Question 9 asks, why does the flag have 13 stripes? And that is because there were the 13 original colonies. Question 10 asks, why the flag has 50 stars? And that is because there are 50 states currently in the United States. Question 11 asks for the name of the national anthem, and that is the Star-Spangled Banner. Question 12 asks for when do we celebrate Independence Day, and that is July 4th. And then finally, we see for number 13, we ask for two federal holidays, and the easiest ones to remember, I believe, are Thanksgiving and Christmas. So make sure that your answers are correct and that they match what I've listed here on the screen. Because these worksheets are the actual questions that are on that citizenship test. And so you'll want to be able to know those exact answers because then you'll be able to pass with ease. So before we go, we're going to finish up with some dictation practice. And so you should have a piece of paper in front of you. I'm going to turn on my big camera so you can see it. That looks like this. It should say Dictation Practice Session 1, 2008 Civics Test at the top. And then you should have three little blanks. So the numbers 1, 2, and 3 with two lines under each of it. That's what we're going to be using for this sentence, for this exercise, okay? So you should have that in front of you. So how this is going to work is that I'm going to say a sentence and then I want you to practice writing that sentence. So again, I'll read a sentence and then I want you to go ahead and write what I say. And we're going to do this for all sentences. So I'm going to say a sentence and then I'll leave time for you to write and then I'll do the other three. And then we'll reveal all at the end to go over what you may have missed. So let's try it. So the first sentence is the flag is red, white, and blue. Go ahead and write that sentence now. I'll repeat it. The flag is red, white, and blue. The second sentence, Canada is north of the United States. Canada is north of the United States. And finally, the last sentence, Thanksgiving is in November. Thanksgiving is in November. All right, so this is what your sentences should look like. So the flag is red, white, and blue. That's what it should look like. Make sure that yours looks the same. And if it didn't look the same, that's okay. We're practicing dictation to get you better because during the citizenship interview, you will have to be able to write a sentence that you hear the interviewer say. And so if you can do that, you will pass the writing portion of your interview. So that's what we're practicing here. Okay, so the next sentence I said was Canada is north of the United States. And so this is what your sentence here should look like. And finally, I said Thanksgiving is in November. And this is what your sentence should look like. If you need to, pause the video, go back, listen to me say the sentences again, and practice, that's okay. You need to do whatever is best for you. Okay, so before I have you guys go, I also have some homework that I do want you guys to complete. So I'm going to turn on my big camera once again. Okay, so in front of you, you should have the piece of paper that says Session 1 homework. Finish before going on to Session 2. And so there are 5 sentences here. You can see them. And I want you to answer them. So write sentences about yourself answering the questions. So it says, what is your name? And so I want you to write, my name is, and then your name. Where are you from? I am from blank. How long have you been in the United States? I have been here blank. Where do you live now? I live in. And then, why do you want to be a citizen? I want to be a citizen because. And so then in those blanks, you guys write the answers to the questions. And so that's the writing practice. And then I also have a reading practice for you. And so that's this page. You can see I want you to practice reading the words to the national anthem, which is the Star-Spangled Banner. And so you can see here we have the words to the national anthem. I want you guys to practice reading that and make sure you read it out loud because when you do the reading section in the citizenship interview, you will have to read out loud. So I want you guys to get practice with that. Okay, so that concludes the first session. The next session is going to be Session 2, and it's going to cover the early history of the United States. And so if you have any questions, please reach out to the Columbus Junction Public Library at 319-728-7972. You can call this number and you will be directed to someone who can help you. Or if you would prefer to email, you can email Mandy Grimm, who is the library director, at this email right here. Or if you would prefer to come in and talk to us, you can always come in person and we would be happy to answer any questions you may have. So that's all I have for this session. Go over it if you need to. If you feel confident and you're ready to go ahead and click on to the next video, and I will see you all guys next time in Session 2. Bye.